Hello, folks. Welcome to Chord Dave live. Because of course, it's Saturday, so let's talk about guitars and music and all kinds of things. I hope you are doing well. Yeah, it's Saturday. We missed you last week a little bit. But let's get into it. Just bear with me today. I'm using new streaming software because, as you know, I've been having trouble with the one I was using. So I've decided to use this other one that more YouTubers use than any other. So we'll check that out, see how it goes. If anything goes wrong, it's the software's fault, not mine. And yeah, hope you're doing well. It is Saturday night though, so sláinte to all you, especially the Canadians out there today celebrating Canada Day. Sláinte. And for those of you who are curious, getting a free strap lock later today. So that's what we're on. Beer wise, yeah, what a week it's been. Guitar wise, things with Gibson and Epiphone continuing to be crazy, and worryingly people trying to justify those changes as being more expensive. Yes, God, I know the music's still playing. It is supposed to. It is lower down than what do you call it? Than loud, hopefully. So anyway, yeah, I'm going to just keep it running because that's good, according to YouTube. And more people will watch if there's music as well. So anyway, that's YouTube. We'll figure it out as we go. So yeah, great to see so many of you here already. Let me see as well. Jack Collins was here nice and early. Says, I'll be there, Chord Dave, with bells and whistles blowing. It's your Raging Cajun from Louisiana. Well, thanks for joining us all the way from Louisiana. And Bogfoot is early, even for Bogfoot. Bogfoot's always early. Yeah, I don't know what that says about him, but we're always glad to have him, and you too, Buglips, as well. Thanks for joining us. Grandpa Joe's here. Great to see you. Grandpa Joe says, checking in from hot and sunny Staten Island, New York City. Hope all are doing well today. Hope you're doing well, Grandpa Joe. Yeah, thanks for joining us. Always great to see you. Ryan's here as well. Good to see you, Ryan. Says, you can't stay today. Mom's birthday dinner. Well, enjoy that and wish your mom a happy birthday. I only sing happy birthday to Jess's mom, so I can't do that for you, I'm afraid, but I wish her all the best. Marcia's here. Great to see you. Marcia says, hey, peeps, all Ryan, tell mom happy birthday and that she needs to check out this Chord Dave thing with you. I don't know if moms should check out Chord Dave. I don't know if it's mom approved, but anyway, rolling on. Bugdip says, Bugfoot, that pick you gave me is a genuine Christmas miracle. Stiffer material made a huge difference. I do hope you're talking about guitar picks, and I'm going to leave that with you. Scott Brower says, where in Staten Island, Joe? And so forth. There we go. And this looks like it's going to be a pick-heavy conversation tonight. Great to see you. Do let me know, by the way, I was going to say it there in the intro. Do let me know about the Epiphone Blue Glory. I got the Blues Power, the new Blues Power in the Pelham Blue, the aged Pelham Blue as they're calling it, which is, it's not quite aged, but it's fine. Yeah, let me know what you think of it. All kinds of justifications are being thrown out there just by random people, not Gibson or Epiphone employees, for why it's $250 more expensive. So one person saying because the back and sides are different, the sides are different, and I saw somebody say the pickup is more expensive, so therefore the guitar is more expensive. Is it as expensive as the gap? As Ryan said on Patreon, it's a $250 pickup, but you got to take out the cost of the pickup that's already there. I think it was what you were implying anyway, Ryan, which I agree with 100%. People jumping on that I think it's crazy. Same guitar, pretty much, bar a different pickup, $250 more. To me, is crazy. But we'll get more into that if you want. I want to know your thoughts on it very much, though. And Epiphone, let's talk about Epiphone really, because I think we're starting to see people revolt against the price increases. So let me know what you think of that too. We can talk about all kinds of guitar things. Whatever you want, just pop it in the comments there, and we will get to it. So anywho, let's get on back into the comments for now, because I tend to ramble. Anyway, Jack says, just doing my 4-hour practice on my Epiphone Les Paul Standard with 57 classic pickups. Those are great pickups. Those are great Les Pauls. Good stuff. Buglip says, I was up his way Thursday on my way back from getting a card for my mom's birthday, and he gave me a heavier gauge pick to try out. I bought an assortment of Alice picks, but they only go up to 0.81 millimeters. So I wanted to see if a stiffer would do anything good. Stiffer's always better, I believe. That's what I heard talking about guitar picks now. I don't know what else you could think we were talking about, but yeah, I mean, hey, there's some interesting choices you can go with. You can get like all kinds of um, cool ones. As I said, and I don't know where they are right now, but the dude who basically accosted me at NAM was like, "You look like you need guitar picks." He's got an interesting thing, but he's trying to sell like three for $20, which is a bit much for me. Anyway, we talk about picks all you want, but I'm not an expert either. Marcia says, Scott, a lot of us are New York City based. I was a Northeast Bronxite for most of my life until I got sick and had no choice but to come to Queens. Hope to return to Pelham Parkway area in the future. Yeah, there's a lot of Canadians, a lot of New Yorkians, New Yorkers, I guess is the most common way to say that, but say New Yorkians. Yeah, we've got a lot of folks from all over, which is great to see. The interesting thing is we've actually got people from all over the world on the channel, but of course our Saturday night stream for me, 10 p.m. Irish time, is not great for most people in Australia, New Zealand, that kind of place, part of the world. Out in Asia, it's not really a great time as well. People are not tuning in about guitars and stuff and other parts of the world, but we get viewers all over the world, so it's great to have such a community, and I do appreciate that very much. So yeah, but it's nice to see you guys coming together and getting to know each other, and from all different parts of the world. And I'm from a different part of the world, so there you go. For most of you. Anyways, you're talking about what do you call it? Dunlop Tortex. Apparently, it says it's only 0.8, but it's way less flexible than the 0.81 Alice. I know I have some Alice picks somewhere. Yeah, they're all right. I use them quite a bit. But yeah, the Dunlops are probably the Dunlop Tortex ones are pretty good. That is the brand that Duff McKagan uses, and I know that because I know he's a bass player, so it doesn't really count. But he just lost 25% of the audience. But I was at a Velvet Revolver gig once, and he threw it out, and it hit me right there. And I had it for years, and then someone stole it. So there you go. Duff's pick gave me magical guitar powers, and I lost them when I lost the pick. What can you do? But yeah, he uses Dunlop Tortex. That was a great pick. I think he just uses regular ones, not any fancy bassy ones or whatever. Matt Van Bosch says the newish Dave logo is great. Thanks, Matt. Great to see you. By the way, William Forrest is here as well. By the way, missed you there, William. But yeah, great to see you. Yeah, Matt, the new logo. Thanks for that. It's an interesting one. Skeleton with a beard. Maybe. The thing is, do I have to change that logo if I shave the beard? Because that could happen any day. Could also not happen any day. I keep threatening to do it, but it's probably not going to happen for a while anyway. We'll see. But thanks, Matt. I do appreciate that, and I like it. I like it too. DMAX says, greetings all. Happy Canada Day to all the Canadians and honorary Canadians on here. Yeah, indeed. Great to see you, DMAC. Hope all is good with you, my friend. Let me see. We've also got other people in the chat. So YouTube's still going to dump chats on me, guys, so just bear with me if I get lost in the chat. It's because of that. But at least this software, I know where the chats are, and they're all in the right place and the right order. So anyways, we'll we'll deal with it. I'm still learning the software. I only started to dig into it this afternoon, so yeah, if things go a bit awry, sorry, but I'm doing my best here. Booklip says, I've had a lot of trouble getting a good sound out of the Donner. It might be, thought it might be fret issues, but this pick cured a lot of it. I wouldn't have thought it would make such a difference. It's surprising how something so small can make a difference, to be honest with you. But yeah, it can make a big difference. So yeah, glad it's working out for you. You know, Scott's the guy. Scott will tell you what to do. He knows his stuff for sure. As if you want to watch Scott's YouTube channel, you can. He does a lot of covers that I'm not brave enough to post, but he is. So definitely check out Scott's channel, Scott Bugfoot. He's doing really well. And he reminds you, if you're new here, welcome. You'll have to subscribe. Wait a minute, and before you can chat in the woods and see how you feel about it. I see what you did there, Scott. Yeah, yes, indeed. Listen, if you are new, please do say hello to us, because a lot of people will pop in and they don't say hello, and then, you know, you're missing out. So yeah, say hello. Make sure you're subscribed so you can chat to us and say hello. Ben Allmark's here as well. Great to see you, Ben. Hope you are doing well. I've seen you in quite a few streams lately. Actually, I don't tend to comment in a lot of them because leave those creators to their stream. But yeah, see you around. So great to see you in the other videos and stuff. Scott Bogvoet says, "What happened to that?" That's chat in the best chat on YouTube. I'm not chatting the woods. See how you feel about it. If that's something auto corrected on you there, pal, that's very worrying. But so yeah, it works. See how you feel about it. Great stuff. Todd Moore is here. Great to see you, Todd. Hope all's well with you, my friend. Says hello, everyone who was working Saturdays for a couple of months. Decided work is overrated. Back here for something a bit more meaningful. I was just thinking today how overrated work is for companies anyway, for other companies that you don't control your own time with, but that's a whole other thing, a tangent I could go on about, but we'll leave it there. Great to see you, Todd. Hope you're well, my friend. Benny Larson's here. He says hi and happy Canada Day as well. Great to see you, Benny. Hope all's good with you in your part of the world. And Marcia says, Bug Lips, you should try Dunlop Gator grips. I think they're much better and a bit grippier for around the same price. There we go. First pitch of the day in for Marcia. We do love the Marcia pitches. It's always good to have her here with us because you missed the last one. To be fair, Marcia said we were a bit worried about you the last Chord Dave a couple of weeks ago because we did miss last week, and it was a good time. Let's see. Matt says, "Gross, good choice." I mean, it was 2 bottles in the freezer or the cold section anyway, refrigerated section, all by themselves. I had to take them home. So there we go. Marcia says, dumb work gets in the way of life. It does. It does indeed. Yeah, I detest it on Monday mornings more than anything, but there you go. William Mazzota's here. Great to see you, William. Hope you are doing well. Says, so which upcoming Tuesday can we expect the new DG335 Epiphone? Next week, Christmas time? Well, yes, that is the answer to that. What I will say is on that, I know they're coming. Obviously, everyone knows they're coming, but I'm not expecting them before September. But again, they could drop Tuesday. They could drop this Tuesday coming. They could drop the following one or the one after that. I don't know. It could happen. We'll see. So yeah, the thing is as well, though. Don't be too surprised if they just drop a Gibson and then it's a month or two later before when they do the Epiphone. So just depends. I don't know. Cesar hasn't told me yet, but I'm trying to get it out of him. T is here. Good to see you, T. Hope all's good with you, man. Says, all right, Chord Dave. Hello, all in chat. Greetings from Ireland. Guitar, smiley face with sunglasses. Great to see you, T. Hope you're doing well over there in the West. You're in the West, right? Anyway, hope you're good. And Cushman says, hey all, Cushman NYC. Great to see you, Cushman. Hope you're good, doing well. Always great when you pop in to see us. Benny Larson says, hey Todd, good to see you again. Indeed, we all love a bit of Todd in Chord Dave live session. I almost said season instead of session, so that's not what we want. Jack Collins says, hello Cushman, hope you're doing well. And DMAC says, used to be Dominion Day here also on the mainland back in the day. Yeah, it's Canada Day since 1982 though. So go Canada. Is that what they say? I don't know. Jess says, my mum will be so touched. You remember, Dave, it's only a couple of weeks until her birthday. I'm sure you're planning an even more impressive rendition. Damn it, Jess, I didn't know it was that close. I thought I had more time to prepare. All right, 2 weeks. Well, all right. Well, tell Rosie I said happy birthday in 2 weeks' time, and this is hopefully she's not expecting a good performance because the pressure. DMAC says I like the JJN vid, but prefer the older models. Interesting, DMAC. Yeah, I've seen a few people like that. Some people just don't like blue guitars or the Pelham blue color in general, and even though those people are wrong, they are entitled to their opinion. I would actually like, and this is going to shock a lot of you, I would like them to reissue the black one with the updated headstock because it's got that old Epiphone headstock, of course. So I think they should just be like the whole 3 of them are available and you can choose whichever one you want. I think that'd be cool. It's a really well selling series that they've had. So yeah, it's one of those where I think they could do that and they should do it. But obviously they're going to try and sell the crap out of this Pelham Blue one. And I think it's a nice guitar. It looks really good. The pickup seems to be really good. It's an interesting theory that they're going with. Although I always think when they do something like, oh, it's a P90, but we've removed the one thing that nobody likes about P90s, and everyone's like, there's nothing wrong with P90s. What are you trying to fix? It's not broken. Don't fix it. So it'll be interesting to see that. But Seymour Duncan, man, they make the best pickups, right? So yeah, I think they will for sure be popular. Let's just say that. Because the Gold Glory is a nice guitar. It's just the one that I got, just to remind you, I did get one and I didn't bond with it particularly well. I sent it back over mostly to finish issues. I could have grown to love it, but it was damn heavy, and like all Les Pauls are, and it was a case as well of just felt like it was missing something at the time, and obviously that was the neck pickup. It just felt weird. I could have grown used to it, but I don't think I would have spent a lot of time with it. So, anyways, that's the thing. But I think they're great. I think, by the way, I think James Jared Nicholas is an absolutely phenomenal guitar player, and he absolutely deserves. I'm kind of surprised they didn't do a Gibson model with him yet, but maybe he decided to do Epiphone himself. I don't know. Jack Collins says, Chord Dave, I got to know how you take care of your beard. Well, Jack, that is why I'm today announcing my new Chord Dave beard channel. 3 chord beards. So no, I don't. Pretty much I just use a nice beard shampoo. Make sure there's a nice beard oil prepared for it and that sort of stuff. Make sure it's moisturized and stuff. So it's one of those. I just keep it on my face. It probably gets less attention than it should. That's the truth. But anywho's, try not to pay too much attention to how not well maintained it is. Nella says, happy Independence Day weekend to my US compatriots. Yeah, indeed, I do think happy USA Independence Day. Any celebration of that kind is a good one. Happy fireworks and all that sort of stuff. Yeah, it's cool having a nice celebration of your home country. We do it in March, which we should really. I don't know why we didn't do it when the weather's nice. That would have been a better idea, but we didn't think of that. I don't know. No, obviously there are other reasons at play there. Todd says the Geek Lord loves the stinger on the Blue Glory more than life itself. Totally justified the price, Jack, if you ask him. I mean, hey Todd, that is true. The stinger on the back, it's a cool feature. But it's part of the paint job, so yeah. Maybe what we should do is we should create just stickers that are just the back of a headstock, put like a stinger on the end of it, so you can put your own stinger on the back of any guitar that you want. I think he'd go for it. I think he'd buy a shitload of them, and we'd all be rich. If anyone wants to join that Kickstarter, we'll get it going on Monday. No, we probably won't. Matt Van Bosch says $9.99 for the Pelham Blue. Blues power does seem too much for one pickup Epiphone. Given the economic climate, I doubt these prices will hold. That's a good point, Matt. There's 2 good points. There's 3 good points. Yeah, it's a lot for a one pickup guitar. That's an Epiphone. Now. It's a Seymour Duncan special pickup. It's like, this new signature edition that he's done with Seymour Duncan, and it is, it's one of their top of the line pickups. Apparently it's $250 this pickup in the US. I didn't find prices for it anywhere else. But $250 for the pickup. The problem I have with that is the pickup that's already in the Gold Glory is also a Seymour Duncan P90, which is about $140. So the price difference justification there should really be $110. And where's the extra $150, $140 come from? And I think, I think if they came out and said, hey, the pickup in this is really special, and they made a big deal of it, and they were like, and it's a more expensive pickup, so it's an extra $100, way more people would be like, hey, that's cool, I'm going to buy it. As it stands, there's a lot of people like me and you questioning, why is this $250 more than the very same thing in gold? Which, I mean, it is. Nobody has pointed out to me anything else that's different, and except for a slight slight differences in the paint, because the Gold Glory had that aged gold, whatever it was called, finish as well. So yeah, prices will definitely drop. But I think that came out. I think that came out a lot cheaper, or a lot more expensive than I bought it for as well. It might have come out at $7.49 actually, and then I think I got mine at $6.99 and maybe $6.49. And there was all kinds of things like that where there was lots of sales. And look at the Slash Epiphones as well; those have fallen down to $5.99, and they're selling really well at $5.99, and they should have been $5.99 all along. But yeah, I think you're 100% right. There will be price drops on those. There will be price drops across the Epiphone price range of the expensive stuff, because the expensive ones are not selling. And that's something I want to talk about in depth. Maybe next week, or maybe do a video about it, about how they're just not selling at the high prices. I need to get a little bit more information, but it's definitely something that could affect what comes down the line from Epiphone. Richard Clark is here. Great to see you, Richard. Hope you are well. Says, new faces today. That's awesome. Greetings, everyone. It's always good to see new people, which is cool. Always great to see you, Richard. Price revolt is a good way of describing it. Very true, DMAC. Yeah, that's it for sure. Todd says, I use Dunlop Gator picks to 2.0 for heavy playing and 1.5 for rock and blues. Very interesting stuff indeed. And Benny says, I think that over my head. I just saw it's Canada Day earlier today. Yeah, I knew it was around this time. There we go. Marcia says, I can dig being a New Yorkian. There you go. You are welcome to being a New Yorkian. It's all good. You never know what's going to fall out of my explanation place on a Saturday night. Let me see, where are we now? Again, bear with me while I catch up on the comments here. I know Glenn was here. I saw Glenn. Where is his comment? There we go. Hello all. Sorry I'm late, but I figured I'd get my timeout done early tonight to stop missing the end. Well, Glenn, I'm in a good mood, so maybe you won't get a timeout tonight. Who knows? Plus you've got lots of credit in the bank right now, so you probably won't be getting a timeout for like 2, maybe 3. Nah, 2 3 Chord Daves, 3 Chord Dave lives. I think we'll see. Scott says Canada ends at Cape Breton Island, like the song says. I have no idea what song that is, but if it's not by Steel Panther, that's why. Imagine Steel Panther did national anthems. That'd be fantastic. Maybe not. Maybe it could cause some riots. Let's not encourage them too much. Nella says there are a lot of good YouTube channels based out of Canada. Quality stuff. There's a lot of great Canadians on the tube for sure. A lot in the guitar space for sure. So yeah, I encourage you to check those out. Marcia says Slash also likes Tortex. I used them until I was told to try Gator grips. Ever since, Tortex just feel awkwardly too large to hold. I mean, look, if it's good enough for Slash, then it's good enough for me. So I have 2 Slash hats over there. And of course, at some stage, I'm going to give that second one away to somebody. Comment of the week or something, or month or year, who knows? Oh, by the way, yeah, just a reminder, we are going to do a DIY guitar kit build right here on the channel. Well, I'm going to make mine and put videos on the channel. Going to hopefully do some cool stuff with it, but you guys can get involved too, and we'll do a little competition. There will be prizes. There's small prizes. Don't expect guitars and fancy stuff, but small prizes, books maybe, or maybe I can put like a care package, guitar care package together or something like that. And we'll do 3 or 4 prizes for the best ones. If you want to get involved, just get yourself a guitar kit between now and August. No official start date, no official end date right now. Just build it when you can, build it when you're ready. And what we'll do is we'll maybe at some point be like, hey, is your guitar kit, is everyone done with the guitar kits? And then we'll review it and we'll figure out who gets the most likes and all that sort of stuff. In order to be included, there's 2 ways you can be included. Obviously, you got to build a guitar. You got to build a guitar from a kit. Do whatever you want with it. Paint it blue. That'll get you bonus points. Paint it purple, half the bonus points. And paint it black, no points. But if you want to get involved, we have a Facebook group. Just hit the link in the description for Facebook group, and you can, post your pictures and stuff there, and you'll be able to show us your creativity and your designs. The most creative will win points and all that sort of stuff, and there'll be prizes for creativity. I did order a kit. It's taking forever to get here because it's not your average kit. Well, it kind of is. But it's different. So anyway, I'll show it to you when it gets here. But if you buy a kit today and it arrives tomorrow, work away, get started doing your DIY guitar kit. We'll have some fun. Any kind that you want, Flying V's, Les Pauls, PRS, Custom 22s, or whatever, and we'll have fun with it. And see who gets a job working for Gibson as a guitar designer. Cesar pops in from time to time, so you never know. Nella says Scott's channel is good and Canadian, so there you go. Matt Van Bosch says Dunlop 2.0 flow picks for me. I recommend them. Very good. Ed Axman says, where's the Knob Gobbler beer? Well, I think what you're referring to is Hobgoblin, and this is just ran out, so yeah, there's none left, but thanks for asking. Richard Clark with the super chat, sir, thank you so much for the super chat. It said, I can teach you a fourth chord for dollars, tons of new songs. I'm good, man. I'm good at my 3 chords and the truth. That's all I need. Yeah, but thanks so much for the super chat. I love it. I love it. Bucklip says, I'm willing to try anything. I like to experiment, and not the way I did in college. I was wondering where that was going. I don't know. I was like, what's he going to say next? Not the way in college. All right. Well, hey, let's move on. Marcia says, did you guys hit the thumbs up? By the way, Dave's going to chug that beer if he hits a bazillion likes. Yeah, bazillion is a good number. So, slaunch it. Let me see. Scott says, what pick do everyone use? I'm big on nylon Dunlop USA's 0.88-1.0. I mean, could you get a more complicated name for it? I don't really have a preference. I do, but it's like 0.81s, maybe 0.82s. I don't really pay attention. I know the feel of the one I like, but I don't really care which brand or which type. I never really drop picks, so I guess I'm special. But yeah, as long as it has the right stiffness, as Buglip said, that's what I like. So anyway, that's my answer. Glenn says, I usually use Fender medium picks. Those are good. I like them, but my store was out and I got a pack of Dunlop medium and I like them better than the Fenders. Wow, what a statement to make. You're lucky you're not getting a timeout this week, because that would have got it for you. I'm just kidding. Nothing wrong with Fenders or Dunlops. I like them both. Let me see. Grandpa Joe, good to know you, neighbor, says Cushman NYC. Good to see you guys are here. Murky Red says, hello all, greetings from Belgium. Hello to Belgium, Murky Red. Hope you're doing well. Buglip says, yeah, the Tortex is 0.88 and some of the ink has rubbed off. Does that. It does that. Richard says, I can't tell any difference after a pick goes much over 1.5. Just gets thicker. Yeah, that's true. Ken says, I do have some Dunlop grips. They're nice too. And Scott says, I don't like the Tortex ones. They leave too much pick dust on my guitars. Interesting. Yeah, that's a good point. Yeah, hadn't thought about that, to be honest. There you go. Buglip says, but the pixie dust is where the magic is. That's another thing we hadn't considered. Pixie dust with your picks. All good. Nella says, I just got Snark Air Tuner. Haven't tried it yet. What do you all think of it? As much as I think people might cancel me for this, I've never used a Snark Tuner. So there we go. Yeah, so I have no idea. Nella, but there you go. I believe they're great. Maybe I have. Yeah, I think there was this one chick who had a Snark on her, maybe her ukulele or something. Maybe used it for that. I don't know. Seemed like a good tuner years ago, like 2013, 10 years ago. Matt Van Bosch says, Dave, did you see any of the GNR performance at Glastonbury and thoughts? I did, Matt. As you guys know, I'm a big Guns N' Roses fan. I love them, and I was excited to see them at Glastonbury. And I watched the entire performance, and I thought every time we all know Axl has his issues, right? His voice is not 1989 Axl Rose. It's never going to be anymore. It's not even 1995 Axl Rose anymore. Um, but I really felt like the production let him down. I felt like the he was doing his best. I thought he was doing a lot better than I'd seen him for certain songs, and like the mic was cutting out at points, and there was times when his volume was very low, and he was. I don't think he knew anything about it, but it was struggling. You're struggling to hear him then, and yeah, so that was disappointing because I think he's. I think I like. You can say as much about him being a dick over the years as, and it's none of it's untrue. In fact, I came across a tweet or a Facebook or something that I posted in 2010 about him being an asshole for walking off stage here in Dublin at one point. Um, and I was like, he has been a dick over the years, but right now he's turning up early, not just on time, early. It's weird, but yeah, I felt he was let down a little bit by that. I thought the band played great. I thought it was phenomenal. I thought some of the playing stuff like TVI, I thought was great. The Stooges getting a little run out on Glastonbury as main stage, and what else? They played a couple of other things. I was like, whoa, that's interesting. It's some great stuff. So yeah, I was very happy. I thought they did a lot of good stuff. But unfortunately, the thing is, right? And I think recently we talked about live performances that were like on DVDs and stuff like that, and shows that we were at that were on that were then like online or whatever. We're never going to get a live Guns N' Roses tour video, DVD, whatever release now, because Axl's voice just isn't good enough for that anymore. But if you're a big fan of Guns N' Roses, it's still worth going to see them live. I think people who were at Glastonbury probably had a much better performance than those of us who watched the TV coverage. So yeah, that's my thoughts. Matt, let me know what you thought, because I know I know you probably watched it too. So let me know. Marcia says, yeah, I forgot to tell you guys, Huey and I had to go take public access exam with his non-profit. He was very sick for a bit, and it was stressful trying to make sure he was well enough to get there. Well, we do hope he is doing all right now, Marcia. Yeah, he's kind of our unofficial mascot, is Huey. Glenn says, Nella, I got I got an Air last month. I like it, but it's a bit big, but I like it the way it tunes. Interesting stuff indeed. Nella says the CR 2032 battery in other tuners lasts forever. So unless this thing is super accurate, to be honest, I don't see the need for it. And Scott says, clip on, question mark. I loathe clip on tuners. I never have one. Sorry, I'm negative. I'll try it out tonight and see, says Nella. Yeah, a lot of people do feel that way, but I mean, I've seen Kirk Hammett slap a clip-on tuner onto Greenie. So if you can do it on Greenie, you can do it on any guitar, right? So I've also just, I'm nobody to talk about this, but like, because I tune it on my phone, okay? That's what I do. I use an app on my phone because I'm that guy. But yeah, I don't know. I just don't feel like a clip-on tuner is necessary for my arsenal right now. But anyway, it's a whole thing. Anyway, Marcia says it's really involved trying to get things together, practice the skills he doesn't use frequently, etc. Thankfully, Huey doesn't have a heart condition or chest raving infection anymore. Well, that's good news. So yeah, great stuff. Jess says, luckily for you, Rosie's birthday is on a Sunday this year. Maybe I should get her a Patreon subscription for a personal video. I think that would be a not very good gift to get, a personal video of me singing happy birthday. Nobody wants that. But who knows? I mean, just bring her by on the Saturday. We'll all wish her happy birthday anyway. This is a new tradition. This is a Chord Dave tradition now, I think. So there's not much we can do about it. It's all good. Like next year, 2 years down the line, 3 years down the line. Actually, there we go. In 3 years' time, when it's on like a Tuesday or Wednesday, we can kind of be like, nah, we can't do it on a Wednesday, and then it'll be three Chord Dave live on a Wednesday for once. Uh, well, hey, happy birthday anyway to Rosie and everybody who's got birthdays. DMAC says, I'm looking at a Pelham Blue Epi SG Special P90 because what I need is another guitar. DMAC, that is actually true. You do need another guitar. The question, how many more guitars do you need? Just one more is always the answer. So yeah, I think you're right. And Pelham Blue SG Special, dude, that's the one you want. Nella says, Scott, I have several Korg tuners and an ancient Seiko tuner. It's one of those days, man. Those work great, but you have to plug them in, of course. Richard says, I've been using V-Picks for the last few years. Interesting. I have to check those out, to be honest. Glenn Bailey says, I use both clip-on and my Peterson strobe tuner. I have to remember not to leave the clip on the headstock. Clip on the headstock. Yeah, that'd be my worry. I'd leave it on there, so it would leave a mark of some kind, I'm sure. Marcia says, we made it to the test just barely with a bunch of help. It seems we passed the exam, but I still have to get a letter in the mail that says we are all good to make it official. Interesting. Yeah, that seems like an awful lot of work to go through that they have you going through. That's not cool. My knees hurt says, I have a tuner on every guitar and my drum kit. I need all the help I can get. I just avoid admitting that I need help. That seems to work for me. Cheers. Let me see there. Miranda's here. Great to see you. Miranda says, good evening, everyone. Dave, Bugfoot, and Marcia. Yeah, hey, great to see you, Miranda. Hope you're well. Scott says, Peterson is the way to go. I'd love to have one of their rack strobes. That would be... that'd be fun. Jack Collins says, Igor Dave, I only ask because I've been growing a beard for 6 years and it's not near as long as yours, but it's thick. But it's thick as yours. Well, this is like 3.5 years now. So it just, what? It is too long. It is definitely too long. And I feel like I need to get rid of it somehow. But I feel like I want to be sponsored by some company who will pay me to shave it off. This point, it's a lot of work. Yeah, I don't know what I'll do, but Jack, hey, the beard, it's one of those. I don't know why it's grown this long. I know somebody who's grown a beard less time and has a similar length. So I also work with a dude who was like, I saw your beard, I was like, I'm gonna stop growing mine. So I don't know, maybe because he was like, it looks bad, but he was like, it's too impressive. So I don't think it is. I think I think I get looks in the supermarket where people are like, that guy's weird. Stay away from him. Which is nice. I like it. But hey, stick with it, Jack. If you want a long beard, it'll get there. You just got to not pay it any attention. But yeah, stick those beard oils on it. They do help. Mark says, what are those hilarious men's product sponsorships all over YouTube? Manscaped. Let's get Dave one of those. Well, Marsha, I did actually reach out to Manscaped about a year ago, and I asked them, would they be interested in sponsoring a video or two, and they said no. Here's 25% off one of our products. And then like 2 weeks later, I walked into my local supermarket, and all of their products were 75% off. So I was like, well, no. So yeah, but they actually told me, and they said to me, like, the standard on YouTube is to have 10,000 subscribers and minimum of 3,000 views per video for your last, I don't know, like 10 videos, I think, something like that. So channel's a long way off that. We're usually, if I do a video about Epiphones, I get about between 1,000 to 6,000 views, and I still need about 3,000 subscribers. So if YouTube stops taking subscribers off the channel, that'd be great. And if you haven't subscribed, hit the subscribe button, get us there. Then we can start getting subscribed for things, and which will be fun, especially Manscaped stuff. But I don't think they'll be the first one. My knees hurt says, I'm drinking a cold Fremont Brewing Turban IPA, but I got a sixer of Irish Death waiting in the fridge. I need to figure this Irish Death out somehow. Figure out where to get some. Sounds great. My knees hurt. I hope you're doing well. I don't know if I said that earlier. I did mention you, so hope you're doing well. The whole world does it in March. Yeah, celebrates Irishness. That's true. Which is because we're great. So, yeah. There's people are always saying their country's the best, but ours is the only one celebrated all over the world in March. So, we celebrate our independence in the US by getting drunk and blowing things up all night long. Yeah, you guys are weird. It's like, hey, I love this country so much, I'm going to blow a little bit of it up. Got to respect that. It's fun. It's fun. But yeah, just do enjoy yourselves and I'm not going to say responsibly, but carefully, with the fireworks and everything. Jack Collins says, I built my own Les Paul with a stinger on the back of the headstock. Burnett made the wood grain stand out and it looked good. I true old didn't know. Well, this is cool. If you made your own guitar, that's pretty sweet. I haven't done a kit in a long time, so I'm looking forward to doing it if it arrives. It's the tracking says it will be any time in the next 2 weeks. I've already been waiting, I think, 3 weeks for it. So we will see. But yeah, it's gonna be a fun one. I'm excited for it. I've got some big plans, and you can't see. No, you can't see. Because I have stuff ready over here and over there, and some over there. It's going to be an interesting kit build if it works out how I want it to. Miranda says about $600 is the max I would pay for an Epi, no matter the features. Yeah, Miranda, listen, I think you're not far off where I would be as well. I think there's a lot of, I tell you what, there are situations where I would go up to 1,000, like $9.99 would be my absolute max. I say that, but I am probably going to pick up one of those Dave Grohls when they come out. But the thing I feel is that they've jumped the gun. If they slowly started creeping up prices towards that, it wouldn't have been that big a deal. To go straight from where they were to, there's an Epiphone that you can buy now for $1,599. That Dave Mustaine one. That's crazy. That's crazy. And that's made in the same Chinese factory as all the other Epiphones. It's not like it's made in the USA and they're, it's that whole thing, which I have an issue with, and I know people are like, well, you shouldn't. But Epiphones were not historically made in Nashville, so that's my issue with that. But yeah, like the thing is, and I think this is what the likes of Cesar and Mark Agnesi and so forth will tell you, is that there will still be Epiphones for that price range, but they won't be high-end Epiphones. And this is the video that I made the very first time I mentioned Epiphones going over the $1,000 mark and beyond. There was people in the comment section of that video being like, "You are an idiot. You do know what you know. You do not know what you're talking about. You're talking absolute bullshit. There's no way that's ever going to happen." And I had the information from somebody who was, how can I put this without getting them in trouble? So the information came to me from somebody who had an inside scoop. They knew this was the plan. And this was like 2 years ago? So yeah, so I knew it was happening, and all these people were saying, "Oh, it's never going to happen. It's not going to happen." But the plan is to have like entry-level Epiphones, mid-level Epiphones, and premium Epiphones. And premium Epiphones will be more expensive than entry-level Gibsons, and we're already seeing that, of course, happen. But yeah, look, the thing is, they think there's a market for it, and I think the only way that they will back down from it is people not buying the guitars, even if they're really great. But I think the Mustaines were a mistake. Not having Dave Mustaine signatures, that's a great idea. Having them be the expensive ones, that's not the great idea, because there's a small market for them. Because a lot of people, are not going to pay that kind of money for a Flying V. There's a small market for Flying Vs compared to Les Pauls, SGs, even Firebirds and Explorers. So, yeah, I think they were wrong on that. And it looks like the whole Adam Jones art collection is not doing so well. Now, We won't really be able to tell until the next one comes out, which is next month, I believe. Is it? Or is it this month? It's soon. Whenever it comes out. I lost track of time on those. But whenever it comes out, because they're not selling. The fourth one, the third one, and the fourth one didn't sell. But of course, same artist. Would the artwork put you off buying it? If you wanted one, I don't think it would. So we'll see. But yeah, they definitely made a big balls up, I think, putting the prices up so high so soon. And Cesar won't talk to me about it. Cesar's never talked to me about anything really. So we will. But I'm always trying to get him to. So maybe someday. Anyway, Marcia says, by the way, I'm with Dave. I can't figure out why the new JJN guitar costs so much more. I still can't come up with a legit reason. Yep, I can come up with a legit reason. They wanted more money. So that's pretty much it. Pretty sure they were like, we could get more money for this. Let's put the price up to $250. Just another quick point on that. And I won't give out about it too much. But if you and I are paying $250 for a pickup from Seymour Duncan, Gibson are not paying that much money by a long shot. They're paying a lot less for their pickups from Seymour Duncan. And so the retail value of the pickup does not fully contribute to a price increase of that amount. I would be surprised if they're paying half the price for the pickup. I'd be very surprised. So, but let's just say they are. And take half the price off the other pickup. You're still talking less than $100 of a difference. So, way less. So yeah, the price increase is just purely we wanted to get more money out of this. And the other ones were popular, so we'll probably sell these too. That's what it comes down to, Marcia. I think. Anyway, pure just making up stuff. Benny says, Marcia, well, I certainly hope you and Huey pass the exam. Keep us posted. Indeed, we do hope you passed. The Butterfly Effect says, hello all. Great to see you, Butterfly. Hope you're doing well. It's always great to see you pop into the chat. And that means I can find you in the chat. Where are you there? Let's just come back. Come back. Where is it? I have a very small chat window, guys, so thanks for bearing with me while I catch up. There we go. Marcia says, thanks, Benny. Sure thing. It might be several weeks until I get a letter with the score. She didn't tell us we failed on the spot or would be put on probation, so that's usually a good sign. It's a really interesting one. But yeah, all the best, of course. Manizert says, I don't sell anything, so value after I purchase, it means nothing to me. Well, there you go then. That's an interesting spot to be in. Jack Holland says, I got some pickups the other day called Tesla Sharks. They are supposed to be just like the Seymour Duncan editions that I can't tell the difference between my Seymour Duncans. Yeah, Tesla pickups are growing in popularity. They were in some Harley Bentons last year, I think, as well. They were at NAMM trying to pick up some business too, but they're supposed to be really good pickups. I haven't got the chance to play through them yet, but for sure, we will be seeing more of them, I think, in certain brands. T says, saw a video about used market crashing. If this is true, how come the prices of new guitars are still going up? The used market is crashing. I don't know about that. Not yet. It's certainly, there are still prices out there that are ridiculous in the used market. I think for newer stuff, it's like the scalper market is not doing so well, particularly ones who were like snapping up the Adam Jones Epiphones, for example. They're not doing well. So those are getting reduced. Signature models are looking kind of like they're coming down a good bit on the used market. Yeah, I don't know if the used market is coming down just yet, but the reason guitar companies are just putting their prices up, that's the answer. Because up until right now, there has been just an insatiable guitar market where people just were kept buying stuff. But I think they're all hitting that point where the prices are just out of people's range right now, where they're just like, no, it's not worth that for an Epiphone. It's not worth that for this. And the counterpoint there is you've got other brands who are making kick-ass guitars for less money or more money, but a way better guitar. Like if you're going to pay 15.99 for an Epiphone made in China, but you can also buy a kick-ass American made or Irish made or German made or Canadian made or Brazilian made or whatever guitar, and it's 2,000, you're going to spend that 2,000 on that better thing. And I think that's going to hurt the big brands in the long run if they keep raising their prices, it'll do them no harm because they'll eventually figure it out and then lower their prices and make better guitars, but it'll take them a while because big business is usually stupid. But that's a whole rant. I could go on. I don't know. I think I might have seen that video, to be honest. I know Mike from Upstairs to the Right Music did a really good video about the Epiphone prices in particular being poor on the second-hand market, and I think that's a reflection more on Epiphone than the entire market space. But there's deals to be had, as there always is. It's finding them and doing the deal. And I think sometimes that might get confused with the market is crashing. The market's not crashing. It's just because there are still ridiculous prices being. And again, it depends on kind of where you're shopping and stuff like that. Reverb has high fees, for example, so sellers will tend to put prices a little bit higher. But there's a lot of people still selling off pandemic purchases on Facebook Marketplace. So you can pick up. I saw somebody today post on some group or other that they picked up pretty much brand new Epiphone Les Paul Standard for $200. Like those are 600 or so. No, they $499, something like that. But like half price minimum, and it was in great condition in a hard shell case. Those kind of deals are out there, but yeah, I think you'll definitely get deals. You got to hunt for them, but I mean, look, it's a great question. We could talk all night about it, but the basics of it are the guitar companies are testing the water at how high they can go, and it's going to damage them, and will turn people to the used market as well. But there's been some pretty big flops this year in terms of sales anyway, sales numbers from some of the bigger companies. The only one who's doing really, really well so far this year is Squier, knocking it out of the park. Their Paranormal series is just killing it, for example. And they've got like new ranges of those, new colors and stuff coming very soon as well. If they're not already out yet, I don't know if they are, but yeah, they're killing it. So I keep an eye on the secondhand market because there is deals to be had. But it's not. I wouldn't say it's crashing. Not yet. Jack Collins says, I think I paid $40 for a set of Tesla Sharks pickups. That's not a bad deal for a pair of pickups. $40 ain't too bad. Butterfly Effect says, great idea, DIY. Thanks, Butterfly Effect. Hope you get involved. That'd be super cool. DOA guitar kit. Hey man, if that's what you want to do, it'll be all good. The one I got is I don't want to give too much away just yet, but it's hopefully it'll actually arrive in 2 weeks' time. My Needs Hurt says red guitars, best guitars. I mean, that is only partially incorrect. Merchant says, speaking of Steel Panther, who else is following Are You Metal? Stupidly funny, like every 80s, 90s game show. Would love to see them do a version of Supermarket Sweeps or Mall Madness. Yeah, Steel Panther are hilarious. If you're not following their YouTube channel, like I did tell Michael Starr when I met him at NAMM, like we are an unofficial Steel Panther fan club, so we are having the fun. But yeah, for sure they need to. You need to check out Are You Metal? It is hilarious, and I do enjoy it, Marcia. Yeah, so I keep an eye on it. I think I haven't seen this week's one yet, but they're always good fun. Those guys are killing it. Minisir says, sorry, I was burning my lunch. Where do we get the kit? Can it be any kit? Or I like the ideas. Yeah, any kit. You want it all. It's up to you what you do and where you get it. There's no official tie-ins or anything. It's just us having fun. And as I said, I will be getting some sort of prizes, not expensive prizes, not big things, no guitars here this time, and any kind of what do you call them, contest that we ever run. Nobody will contact you in the comments and message you and say, hey, you won. That won't happen. I will announce it on the live stream. That's the only thing. If you don't hear me saying your name, you didn't win anything. So just bear that in mind, because I have to say that because YouTube is full of people who try to scam other people. And I know at least one person got scammed on this channel and doesn't come to the channel anymore. So, yeah, it's not my fault if you get scammed. Be vigilant. The only person who will tell you won something is me, and if it's not me saying it on the live stream, you didn't win anything. So don't fall for it, please, because I'd hate to see that happen to you. Glenn Bailey says, I do, Marsha, Are You Metal kills me. Me and Glenn love it too then. Miranda says, Money said, yeah, I get that. I usually also buy to keep and play, but it's still great when they gain value instead of the opposite. That is a good point. That is a good point. I never buy something thinking I'm going to sell it, but I'm, for the most part, not opposed to selling my guitars. But I do, from time to time, have to sell a guitar or make a decision like, oh, I'm okay, I'll sell all my guitars, and then change my mind. So yeah, I've sold guitars that I regret selling. You guys know that. I think we've all done that at some time. But you know, other cool guitars will come our way. My Knees Hurt says, I mean, I seriously never sell anything. When I'm dead, the value won't matter at all. I'll just hate real human interaction. I mostly just hate real human interaction. Yeah, humans are the worst. That is true. They make life very just disappointing. I feel that every time I see other humans. Very good. Marcia says, I love the credits, Glenn. All the IP freely style names never gets old. Yeah, the Steel Panther just great fun. Scott Bogwood says, my problem is I want to build from scratch, but to get a chunk of maple and make a neck, I'd have to chop down a fairly large maple to get it. I mean, you know, that is one way. It's one way of doing it, Scott. Maybe you can find someone who's already cut down a maple and purchase them off them. I don't know. But if you get involved, I'm sure you would do something cool. We would enjoy that. Cushman NYC says, what's up, Dave? I mean, you know, it's all good. It's all good, man. Let me see, what else have we got? My problem with kits is the frets are always small and pitted. Yeah, that's, you've got to kind of hope for the best and then fix up the frets when they do. I haven't done one in years. So the last one I did was a Harley Benton one. God, it was a long time ago. So anyway, I'm looking forward to doing this one, if it ever arrives. Feels like I've been waiting a long time. Anyway, Nella says I should get an Explorer kit and turn it into Theodore, named Alvin. There you go. There you go. That is the perfect kit project. If you can somehow manage that, I would be very impressed, and you would for sure win yourself a pamphlet or something. I'll see what they have in church. I don't go to church, by the way. Manizer says, you can buy chunks of maple. So you are, Scott. You don't need to. And yeah, I think I've seen that. You don't need to spend lots of money, but you know they're out there. So anyway, Benny says, yeah, I didn't know about it. Thanks for the tip. Oh, Benny, you're gonna love it, man. Steel Panther. It's on their official YouTube channel. It's very, very fun. Scott Brower says, I use Dunlop Flow Picks 0.73 or 0.88. Those work. Those are good. Jack Collins says, sounds like I'm painting mine blue. Yes, do. Blue guitars, you'll be happy. Little bit of spark of creativity. Never hurt anybody when it was painted blue. Mark says, Scott trying to cut down a fresh Canadian maple. Maybe we go to your local lumberyard if you don't want to chop your tree. I mean, that's an option, but maybe he's just looking for a reason to cut down that tree. Who knows? Glenn says, Marsha, I love the scoring on the show. You get 3,000 points and then you answer a hard question and gets 3. They don't answer hard questions. But yeah, a couple of weeks ago, Satchel got like 50,000 points for his first question. And then like the next question was like 3. It was pretty funny. Those guys it is hilarious. They must have so much fun making those shows for YouTube, because you know, being on YouTube, it's killer. Manizer says, I got into jazz 3 picks. 3mm is cool, or 1mm with knurling. I mean, hey, whatever works for you, man. That sounds cool. Scott says, oh, not my trees, Marshall. I'd have to find someone else's. Well, hey, if it's someone else's, that's all good. Jack Collins says, beware of where you get them guitar kits from. I learned from experience. Yes, indeed, that's true. The cheaper ones tend to not be Obviously, they're pumping them out, so they're not as good quality. But I'm hoping the one because it was a little bit more expensive than I was hoping to pay. But so I'm hoping the one I got is good quality, but we'll see. We will see. Matt Van Bosch says, I've got a guitar build in progress, so count me in. Very cool, Matt. Definitely want to check that out. Oh, I didn't tell you guys. Yeah, for the DIY project, our kit guitars, you can put it on the Facebook page, or if you want to go ahead and just email me the link or the email address for all of the reasons you need to email me. Now, I like to keep them for business, but I usually get spammed anyway, so it doesn't matter. Hit the very bottom of the description of all the videos. You can just email it to me if you're not on Facebook or you don't want to add something to a Facebook group there. Now you can email them to me. Let me know your YouTube name and stuff like that, and I'll show them up on the stream here one night when we do a run through of them and stuff like that. So yeah, that's the second way. My knees hurt says small thick picks are not the same as normal sized thick picks. Make sure I said the th there and not to something else. Anyway, when I go to my brother's house, I need a pick. He always hands me a giant triangle-shaped pick. It's like playing with a Dorito. Yeah, my dad used to play with those. I don't know where he got them. Well, I do know where he got them, in the guitar store. But yeah, those are interesting. Fun ones indeed. Glenn says, does Canada have any trees left that are still dealing with the smoke here in V? We're still dealing with the smoke here in V. That's a big scam. You know that, Glenn, right? Canada doesn't actually exist. It's like Australia. It's not real. Just kidding, by the way. It's a carryover from another project I work on. But yeah, Canada's very real. So is Australia. And they have lots of trees left, I'm pretty sure. My knees hurt says to Jack, you have a suggestion where to buy kits? I feel most are all the same, cheap, everything. They're never going to be the bestest, but yeah, any recommendations you guys have would be super cool to share with the group. Scott says, but you dry it rolled like a baseball bat. I don't know what you're talking about. But yeah. Roll it like a baseball bat. Why not? DMAX says, I find there's a lot of size differences between pick brands. I'm playing a 1mm Dunlop now that seems slimmer than some of the other brands, 0.88. It's quite possible, and don't forget they wear down through play as well, quite quickly, if you're a heavy player as well. So there you go. Cresta Bear 69 says, hi from Geneva, Dave. Hey, nice to have a Genevan in the stream. 2 Pelham Blue guitars released in a week by Gibson Epiphone, and you only commented on one. Did you miss the Richie Faulkner Flying V? No, I didn't. I put it in the Facebook group, of course, and you know, guys know I love a Flying V, but what I don't like about the Richie Faulkner is that it's not widely available. They were only available on Sweetwater for a very short space of time, and they're apparently only making 100 in total, so I don't think they're going to put them out wide anyway. So yeah, also, it's not, despite it looking quite nice, it's got a Floyd Rose on it and everything. It's kind of just it's not my favorite thing that they've done. So yeah, I was hoping though that they were going to just make a release of it, like just a regular release, USA release, whatever. But because people have been waiting for that for a long time, and now they're technically released, but most people will never get one. I think that's a kind of I hate when they do that. So, because those ones, they could have sold a lot more than 100, I'm pretty sure. So, yeah, disappointing. But they, you know, it wasn't that I missed it. I did post about it in the Facebook group. I actually posted quite a cheeky little take saying this was a leak from Gibson, because, of course, Cesar had them the night before on his Instagram page. But yeah, it was to me, it's too small a release. I hate when they do it, because it takes a lot of people out of the game, being able to buy a guitar that they want. So anyway, plus the Jar James Nichols is a little bit cooler. Marcia says, I usually use 1.14 or 1.5 for melody or leads, 0.96 for strumming and picking individual notes, 0.71 or below for a fast strumming, and no plucked notes. There you go. Jack Holland says, my knees hurt. I've begged to differ. Are you better known where you get your guitar kit from? Are you better know where you better to know where your guitar came from? I mean, yeah, there's lots of different folks out there. Some of them better than others. Marcia says, yeah, that's rough when it's tough when mics and audio issues are plaguing a musician. Axel was probably trying to just be heard and was pushing his voice as a result. And let me see. Do you have a suggestion as to where to get guitar kits, Jack? Is what my knees hurt says. Then I need a spoke shank to carve a neck. I mean, there's ways to do it without that, but yeah, for sure, it would be helpful. Buglips says, Axel's problem is that he was a great singer once. Dave Mustaine's voice was always terrible, so it aged better. That's a very good point. Megadeth is my favourite band, but Dave is an acquired taste. I mean, Dave Mustaine will say that himself, that he's never been about the singing, so yeah, like it's a very good point. In terms of Axel and what Marshall was saying as well, like I don't know how much Axel knew about the production issues or the sound issues that were coming through, at least the BBC's feed, but maybe they were getting back. I certainly felt like to Axel it was a big deal to be playing at Glastonbury, and he was trying to make the best show he could. He was maybe working a little bit harder on those vocals than he had been, but yeah, probably pushing himself a little bit too hard to be impressive. And but here's the thing, and I think in some ways Axel needs to be commended for this. He's not using software yet to improve his performance. He's just doing what he's doing, and if it sucks one night and it's good the next night, that's it. But he's not an 80s or 90s Axel, and he never will be ever again. He's just gone beyond that now. So, but he still puts on a good show. I've enjoyed every Guns N' Roses show I've been to, all 2 of them. There you go. My knees hurt. You guys have been great. We've been Megadeth. There you go. That's exactly how to think of it. T says, have a clip on Polytune. Is it? It works. I'll have a clip on Polytune and have a pro guitar tuner on phone. That seems to work as well. There you go. Yeah. For me, I'm not going on stage playing in front of many people. Just usually me. So who can hear it? So it's not that big a deal for me. As long as it sounds almost in tune, I'm good. Jack Collins says, I heard the Bad Cat guitar kits are the hardest to deal with, but I have bought some Harley Benton kits and they have been pretty good. There you go. Yeah, the Harley Benton stuff is usually pretty good. Stu Mac have some top DIY kits, and I like the ones Amazon have, says Glenn Bailey. And if Glenn says it, you can trust it. He's usually spot on. Matt Van Bosch says, on GNR Glasto, I thought the band sounded great. Axl Rose definitely doesn't have the voice he had. Very energetic, though. So much running across the stage. I mean, dude, that is a very good point. Because I don't know how far across the stage is, but I wouldn't think I'd be able to run around singing at any level with the energy he was putting into it. So yeah, I definitely think you've got a great point there. And the thing with Guns N' Roses, and I'm a big Guns N' Roses fan. I've paid for memberships to the fan club so I can buy tickets early and stuff like that. Now, they're like my favorite band, but I will say there is times when I'm and I want to see Slash, and I want to see Duff, and I want to see Richard Fortus, who I think is phenomenal as well, and I want to see Dizzy Reed out there. I want to see those guys doing well. There are times when sometimes I wish just fucking turn on the auto tune, Axel. Nobody cares. We're just there for the show because the band's great. Oh, something fell. Never mind. Thankfully, not everything fell. All right, that scared shit out of me for a sec. But yeah, I thought I think he needs help in some way or another, or maybe they just need to not tour for 3 years, even though they had the pandemic time off. But, yeah. Anyway, I love Axl, I do, and I just want him to be the best he can be. But yeah, he gets a lot of shit, and it doesn't help that he looks like an old lady either. So, sorry, Axl. Anyway, Scott Bogfoot says, I'd like to see a band concert that the guitarist has to build a guitar at the beginning rather than destroy one at the end. I mean, that would be, maybe for Kiss's comeback tour. Who knows? Yeah. But Tommy Thayer has to build an Epiphone Les Paul before the end of the show. Jack Collins says, my knees hurts. The only thing I've ever changed was the pickups in the pods and the switch. Yeah, those things probably need to be replaced in most kits, I would say. But like you were saying, the Tesla pickups, like $40 for a set of pickups that sound really good. That's those kind of things didn't happen before, so that's great. Richard Clark says Texas Toast has some good kits, and they will answer questions for you as you go through the process if needed. Those guys are cool. I enjoy their videos. When I come across them. So yeah, very cool stuff indeed. Mar says, by the way, I just had a merch idea: 3-chord dog shirts for all the 3-chord Dave doggos who are forced to watch along with us by default. Hey, I don't even know where to start with that, but but hey, I'll take it on board and consider it the next merch run. There is, I think the latest merch is kind of interesting and very cool. The Scully design, I'm going to leave it up there for a bit. So if you're interested, you can click the link to the shop and pick one of them up. You would be very highly thought of walking around with your 3-chord Dave Scully shirt on, I think. My knees hurt says Stu Mac Wilkinson kits are good, as are Fender kits. Yeah, parts casters, I suppose, another way. That's kind of the high-end way to go about it if you want. Buglip says, I'm amazed Rob Halford sounds as good as he does though. That's unreal. Maybe it is unreal. There's a lot of the big bands out there are using backing tracks and live auto tune as well. So yeah, because that's the thing apparently. And so who was it? I think it was Eddie Trunk was giving out about that, and I don't care, because if I'm there, I want to hear the music as best as it can be. I know the band are going to play, so if the singer can't hit the notes anymore, help him out. He's still going to sing. Just the computer's going to help him out. That sounds fine. But anyways, I would probably, then again, if I went to a show and found out someone was on auto-tune, I'd be bitching about it. So don't listen to me. D-Mac says, best Guns N' Roses live concert video, in my opinion, is the old show from the Ritz in New York City that MTV broadcast in the late 80s AFT tour era. I mean, that is a great one. It is a great one. I like the stuff that they put out from, like the live album they put out was great. Was it 91 to 93 or something? I don't remember the years, but that's a great one. I play that a lot when I want some live action. It's a very good live album. But yeah, the Ritz show is cool as well. Matt Van Bosch says, overall, thought GNR were great. They are a tight band. Love Slash's parade of amazing guitars. Surely 100,000's worth. Yeah. I mean, his Travis Bean collection is worth a lot in its own right, and he's playing one of those on the tour. Those guilds that are worth a few. I mean, they're all in this book right here, which is, you can buy. I think the book is $200 now, but you don't get the signed thingy or the pictures, the lithograph prints. Are they lithograph prints? I don't know. The prints that are in there, posters basically. And his collection is phenomenal, some amazing stuff. But if you don't want to buy the book, there's a video on the channel which you can check out. 2 videos going page by page through everything that Slash has in his collection. And so far, I haven't received a cease and desist letter, but it is my life goal to get a cease and desist letter from Gibson, so who knows. But yeah, Matt, some of his guitars, very nice indeed. He has been playing heavily a Les Paul Custom, a black Les Paul Custom, and then the Explorer made an appearance as well on a couple of tunes. I don't know if you noticed. But yeah, played some nice stuff for sure. So there was a lot of, if you watched a lot of the Glastonbury footage, there was a lot of nice guitars on display by people, so it was good to see him. Glenn says he knew 3-chord Dave theme song Huey to Louie. That's a contender. We just need you to put it together first, Glenn. That's the thing. So work on it this weekend if you don't mind. Money Hurt says, I'm working on a 2x12 cab right now. It's slow because I don't have all the parts. Hey, that sounds like a good project to be working on. Scott says, so now I have to make a video showing what I used to tune. When I first started guitar, I discovered that a phone landline dial tone, that's what I use for a reference point. How in the hell did you learn that? But interesting, yeah. I like if it works for you, man. That's awesome. Richard Clark says GNR put out one of the best rock debut albums of all time. Richard, you and I are on the same page on that one. I think Appetite is the best debut album of all time. There isn't a second of that album that I think is wasted space. It's fantastic, which is phenomenal when you consider how messed up they were at the time. A lot of incredible songs on that album, and of course, a lot of stuff that ended up being on Use Your Illusion was also being worked on in the Appetite sessions as well. So the interesting thing is that it could have been even better because they had like November Rain that was ready, well, not nearly ready to go as well, but was pushed. So that's interesting. Yeah, there's a lot of great stuff that they could have put on it. So yeah, I agree with you very much. Matt says, does Slash still gig as Chris Derrick Les Paul, or is it in the vault now? No, so he said recently that it's been retired because it's too valuable to him, not in terms of money, but in sentimental value. And he takes out reissues instead of that. But also he does still take out he has two guitars that he got from Gibson around that time, and is it Jessica and Little Jess or something like that. He's two guitars he got from them anyway. He takes those still out on the road with him, and yeah, I think you could see them at Glastonbury. They looked a little bit beaten up. So there you go. But yeah, the Chris Derricks don't hit the road anymore. Moneysert says, my ears are shit, so reference point means nothing to me. Yeah, me too. Glenn says, I'm normally a little out of tune when I play That's Rock and Roll, Bitches. I mean, That's Rock and Roll, Bitches. It sounds like a song we should all learn. But Glenn says, no beard, Dave. I don't think there'll ever be a no beard, Dave. That'll never happen. Whether it's short beard or long beard, there will be some sort of beard. It's very, very unlikely we will see. I mean, I don't think so. Who knows? That does not write it off as a possibility, but I don't think so. My beard grows like a cartoon leprechaun's beard. That's fantastic, Scott. That's what we all want in life. So good stuff. Richard Clark says, Slash does a Gibson video that shows his collection and talks about the early LP copies from the first tour and album. Worth watching. Yeah, his version is the collection with Mark Agnesi. It's a very good video. You should definitely watch. And some of the guitars, man, they're very, very cool. And they do go over his Fenders and stuff. What I like about that Gibson do is they don't just pretend Gibson is the only guitar company in the world. So some very, very cool stuff indeed. Glenn says, if you shave the beard, does the hair come back on top? Who knows? I don't know if that's how it works. Maybe. Although, from time to time, somebody will send me a thumbnail from a video of I did when I didn't shave my head, and it looks weird. So yeah, probably not. Probably that's not, unless they invent some sort of drug that makes your hair like super long again. I don't think that's going to happen for like at least until my 60s. But again, who knows? Nella says, my hair's down the middle of my back, starting growing it out again in 2018. Trimmed some of it off since then. I'm 63, and I get a lot of comments about it. It sounds great. I'm not jealous. It's fine. Might be a little bit jealous. Jess says, I was hoping Izzy would turn up for GNR at Glasgow. It would have been so cool to see the band back together. Yeah, Jess, listen, I'm not going to say it wouldn't be cool at some point, but at the same time, I would say it's very unlikely to ever happen. A lot of people would dig it, and I think Glastonbury was probably the time. If it was going to happen, that would be the cool time to do it. Yeah, it would have been good. I think if they did Izzy, though, they would have had to bring out Stephen as well, and I don't know how that's going to go. And there was that moment where Axel says, when they're about to play Paradise City, we're going to bring out a friend, and everyone went, oh shit. and then it was Dave Grohl, and he's cool too. He's cool too. But whenever the conversation about Izzy coming back to the band or playing with the band at any point comes up, I do like to point out, because I'm a big fan of his. Richard Fortus is a very good replacement for Izzy. No one's going to be a full-on. No one's ever going to stop asking or requesting or wishing that Izzy was in the band, because Izzy was the original dude and he was like kick-ass, and everyone loves Izzy Stradlin, which is I do too. But Richard Fortus is great, and he deserves a lot of praise that he doesn't get. But just for one song or two songs or something at Glastonbury, it would have been really cool if Izzy Stradlin had come out, for sure. So yeah, I agree with you. I thought in the days building up to it, I was like, I wonder if this is when they'll do it. So to me, I don't think they're ever going to do it, because if they were going to do it, Glastonbury was the time to do it. So probably their next show. Cushman NYC says, gonna blow this street off the map. Is that just for 4th of July? All right, have fun, just be careful. Watch those guitar hands and stuff. Scott says, Gibson newish mod / demo shop has no clue how to do good looking stinger, in my opinion. The Gibson demo shop doesn't know how to do an awful lot of things. They're selling guitar strings now at the European demo shop. So yeah, what the hell, Gibson? Demo strings? I don't know. They're selling them in packs of 10. I might buy some. Richard says, Izzy put the movement in the whole first album, but I doubt he will ever play with them again. I think you're right. And I do also, because I know a lot of people don't follow like Guns N' Roses as intensely as I do, but the band have said that Izzy is welcome to play with them at any time before. This is a few years ago now, but apparently Izzy was like, I don't want to be near that band, and that's why, because he just doesn't feel comfortable considering where that band put him in his personal journey. So yeah, he doesn't want to be part of it, and if that ever changes, they'd probably welcome him to come and do guest slots and stuff like that. But he also doesn't want to do guest slots his whole life, and I don't think he wants to do 3-hour shows every night either. If they ever announce a farewell tour or something, I wouldn't be surprised to see something like that happen, but I don't know if that's going to happen anytime soon. It'd be cool, but I don't know. Anyway, I'm glad there's a lot of Guns N' Roses fans here, because I love them. Glenn Bailey says, yeah, people start celebrating the 4th around here last week in June and keep blowing shit up for a week. I mean, hey, it's a celebration. They're why not? Having fun. Scott says, I'd always like to see a new Tommy Thayer. I mean, what kind of sparkle are they putting on it now? The silver, the blue, what's next? It's always good to see. Glenn Bailey says, when I saw Guns in 92, Izzy was there. It was good, but he didn't look like he was enjoying himself, and Duff was walking around asking for his drink, this much vodka with this much juice. Yeah, Duff was in a bad place back then. In 92 to 93 was like, yeah, I mean, it's amazing to me that a couple of those guys are still alive, and they're doing really well now, so that's great. But yeah, I'm a bit jealous you saw them in their heyday, Glenn. Let's be honest, even if they were a little bit drunk. But that's why Izzy doesn't want to be in the band. It's like he just doesn't have good memories of that time. So there you go. T says, do you tune to 0, or do you tune your E to -12 cent, A -10 cent? No. I just tune to standard, man. That's all I do. The whole 3-chord thing is to infer that I'm very basic. It's very basic. I have one of my guitars is tuned down a half step because I try to play some Guns N' Roses at times, but that's all. But yeah, nothing too fancy that way. I wouldn't even know where to begin with all of that. Miranda says, oh yes, Scott, that blue Tommy Thayer epi is nice. It is an interesting one. Is it nice? Would I want it? And I love blue guitars. I don't know, it's just too sparkly for me perhaps. But I mean, I know, I do like it, to be honest, I do. I like the case as well. I like that it comes in a blue case. Nella says, I'd knock the tip off a Mustaine style V in about 2 seconds, not for me. Hey, as long as it's just the tip, right? And so getting cancelled on YouTube. Marcia says, Richard, I really enjoyed Slash's episode of the collection. Don't do it when I'm reading a comment. YouTube, who do you think you are? Ugh, so many comments. All right, looking like we might be running over time tonight again. So let's try and speed up the thing. Why does it keep dropping all this stuff on top of me here? Uh-oh. It's got so far back up. Sorry guys, I will get to the top here of the comments. I know I was reading a Marcia comment. There we go. Alright, I really like Gibson can't really hide the Chris Derry copy thing. It's been public knowledge for many years. I think they're leaning into it like more than anything now lately, which is fun. I like that they are doing that because yeah, it's a very funny twist on the whole Gibson play authentic thing. Madron Bosch says, I think the only way Epiphone can justify a premium plus 1,000 price bracket is if they bring back the Japanese elitist range. I'd buy one. I mean, they might make an elitist range in China though. That might be what's coming next. I don't know. It wouldn't surprise me if they did. Glenn says, until I read Duff's book and explained that's what he was doing, I thought he was yelling at his tech for a technical issue. Yeah, his book's phenomenal. It's called It's So Easy and Other Lies. Even if you're not a big reader or you don't like reading biographies, if you are a big reader, read Duff McKagan's It's So Easy and Other Lies. Slash's autobiography is great, but Duff's has some details in it that you're like, how the fuck are these guys still alive? And like quite literally in Duff's, he was asking doctors to kill him. It's a phenomenal book, phenomenal life story. You should check out. And reading that book made Duff McKagan one of my absolute personal heroes. Like the stuff he's been through, it's phenomenal. And also he's like a kick-ass bass player too, in a great band, in several great bands. So yeah, anyway, read it, it's great. Buglip says, I'm going to get a kit from Bargain Musician if they ever put left-handed V's back in stock. Left-handed V's, I mean, that's a tiny market. So I wish you all the best with that for sure. Scott said the Blue Tommy Thayer had zero marketing. I'd say sales were poor. Yeah, I think it might have been a crossover from the old brand, like the old Epiphone / Gibson to the new one. Like they kind of inherited that already in production. I think so. They had to kind of still put it out. So I'm not sure they were fully behind it. My niece says, Glenn, there is a cool Duff documentary on Netflix or Prime. That's interesting. I haven't seen that, so I'll have to go look for it. Miranda says, yes, Japanese Epi would be a different story and well worth 1,000 plus. Japanese Epis, yeah, by the way, I didn't say that, but yeah, that would be cool. I just have no faith in them to do it. so there you go. Prove me wrong, Cesar. Prove me wrong. Glenn says, Knees, is it the one where he reads part of his book or is it new? Oh, that one where he reads his book is pretty interesting stuff. Yeah man, pointy guitars are hard to keep from getting dinged. I'll give you that, that's fine. DMAX says, I've never seen Tommy Thayer model in a store anywhere, only online. Always wondered about that model. Yeah, that's very true. I don't think they've sent them out far and wide, but yeah, they're still available on a lot of online retailers from what I can tell. Batfing 2 says, greetings, it is I, Justin Hawkins. Batfing 2. I knew I recognized your picture from somewhere. I get confused in my head. Batfing, great to see you. It's always great to see you. Hope you're doing well, man. And thanks for joining us. Batfink rides again, says Glenn. There we go. See, we're all kinds of people around here. Batfink says, my last GF was insatiable. Well, there you go. I mean, hey, good for you, man. That's great. Chord Dave, can't believe it's taken me this long to figure it out. Cesar is your contact. Yeah, man, I've said it several times. Cesar and we're actually buddies. We went to school together. I was his best man at his wedding. He was the best man at my wedding, um, which is weird because I'm not married, so and officially haven't ever been, um, just secretly. Anyway, we'll just yeah. Cesar tells me all the stuff. She had a guitar with a built-in GH. I mean, guys, listen, guitars with GHs. That's the next innovation. And if you don't know what GH means in guitar terms, you shouldn't. Uh, James Sever says, "Hey, three chord Dave, my Irish brother." Hey, James, hope you're doing well, my friend. Great to see you, as it always is. Gibson Tribute Les Paul is a really nice guitar and less money than a high-end Epiphones. DMAC, yeah, I mean they've actually put them up in price because of the. Well, I mean they're putting their prices up anyway, but yeah, $12.50 for a Tribute Les Paul nowadays. So good stuff there. Baffing says, "I better behave." I know, I know. Hi Scott. No, behaving is overrated. Okay, guys, by the way, so what we're going to do is now at this point, because we've got like half an hour left and I'm way behind, and I think YouTube's going to dump a load on me again. Should rephrase that. YouTube's going to pop in a load more comments on top of everything in a while. So if something's super important for me to read out, just tag me at the start at 3 Chord Dave. Otherwise, I may skip over chats and stuff like that just to get through as many as we can. I'm going to try and get through as many as I can, and thank you so much for everything. And of course, if you do super chat, that'll come up on my screen, so that is another way to get straight to the top of the queue. But we will try and get through as many of these as we can. Also, Matt von Bosch says, "Marketplace is full of bargains if you can move quickly. I picked up a Stag brand, a black Les Paul custom style guitar for £30 this week. It's a little rough, but a no-brainer at that. I mean, £30. Come on, that's fairly easy." Baffing 2 says, "What's your fave Steel Panther song?" Don't say it. My favorite Steel Panther song is 1987. Right now, I think it's a fun one, and it's a heartfelt one, and it's a newish one, but I like that. What else? Probably that. Let's just leave it at that. Jess says to Matt, "I'm not on Facebook. Not only am I missing out on Dave's competition, but also great bargains." I mean, I'm not going to say you should be on Facebook because it's terrible. But if you are on Facebook, the good thing is 3 Chord Dave and Friends, which is our Facebook group. But yeah, you can still join the competition by just emailing. That looks inappropriate. Just email me on the email address at the bottom there. Still sounds inappropriate. Just email me with it's going to sound even more inappropriate. Send pictures of your guitar, if you choose to the email. I already get spammed on that email. It's going to get worse, isn't it? Yeah, thanks. Bailey, besides the song we can't mention here, my favorite Steel Panther song is 1987. Glenn, 1987 is a great song. It actually is, like, and it's funny as well, but it is a great tune. Boffing says, "I prefer Animals over Scoomans. Scoomans? I get what you're saying. It's just a hard word to pronounce, as I call most." I agree with you. Glenn says, "I'm not an introvert. I just don't like being around people." I think that's a 3 Chord Dave quote, right? I mean, I've definitely said that exact thing many times. Mine is probably "Death to All But Metal." I mean, it's a classic. Badfing says, "I barely know Steel Panther's music. I did watch a live gig they did. Great musicians, no doubt." Yeah. I mean, it wouldn't work if they weren't great musicians. If they were just people trying to be funny, I think their whole act would be just terrible. But the fact that they're super good musicians is what makes it for me. But yeah, 1987, just check that out. Look up that on YouTube at some point. It's a really good song. Bavin says, "No doubt about it, I like Mike Starr's DLR type screams." He does have a good scream, for sure. Sadly, much of our lovely maple here in Canada is burning courtesy of some very odd circumstances. I don't know what those are, but the circumstances, but yeah, that is sad for sure. Glenn says, "They rock. Did anyone see the rig rundown with Satchel?" Yeah, he's very cool. Baffing says, "Saw the rig rundown with Justin and Dan from The Darkness. What a killer those lads have. Killer tone those lads have, indeed." Anyways, let's see if we can get through a few things. It's heartbreaking. Trees are amazing. Am I the only one who wonders how these fires all happened? I don't believe the news too much, but I'll shut up. I don't know how it started, but yeah, it seems a bit weird. Now it says smoke from the Canadian fires around here north of Detroit. The guitarologist, I always mispronounce his channel name, has the smoke in Kentucky. Crazy. I've never seen anything like it before. Yeah, that's super weird. I mean, usually have stuff like that happen, but then like we get not sandstorms, but like everything here was covered in sand a few weeks ago, which they said was from the Sahara. It's like, how the hell's that happening? So, the planet's weird. But yeah, weird stuff happens that's not explainable, really. Nightmerica, very nice, interesting name. I like it. It says, I use big Fender triangle picks, medium gauge. I'm a lefty who plays righty, and the size of my picks helps me with my picking exactness because I've got more reach to trade for less dexterity. Very cool, and thanks for joining us. Thanks to for popping in that comment. That's cool. Yeah, that's an interesting, because I was mentioning earlier that my dad used those big triangle picks as well, and he was a lefty who played righty, so maybe that's why he had so many of those lying around. I don't know, I never asked him. Glenn says, yeah, this week in Virginia you smelled a fire and it was hazy and covered out the sun most of the day, on and off. It breaks my heart. That sounds pretty bad. So yeah, it sucks, man. That is terrible. How is the entirety of Canada on fire? What's going on? Marsh says, I had to hard reboot my phone. I'm still here. My YouTube app refused to let me type even after killing the app. YouTube's just been a dick lately. That's what. Let's just blame YouTube. I certainly do for lots of things. The wood for baseball bats are squat between rollers to make them harder. I figure maple necks might be the same. Do Ireland have baseball or just cricket? There probably is some enthusiasts who play baseball. Cricket's not big here either. We do have a international team, but without trying to be offensive, I think it's English people who weren't good enough to get on the English team, and they were like, let's move to Dublin, and they play they play cricket for Ireland. But yeah, as a sport, cricket is way down the list here. Like we've our two national sports, hurling and Gaelic football, are massive, and then it'd be soccer, then rugby, maybe basketball next. I don't know, but baseball's not popular at all. Batfink says, I've got KK Downing picks and it makes me shred like an SOB in my dreams. There you go. In everyone's dreams, that's how we all are. Chord Dave, my gas affliction has cleared me out, but I'd like to get a kit. I'll to go against the grain to get an acoustic kit. Wow, very cool. Would there be a lot of fucks and fuck ups in that video? Hey man, that's part of the fun. It'd be quite brave to do an acoustic kit. That's cool though. If you were to go down that route, it'd be interesting if anyone else followed you down that route. Very cool, very very cool, and lots of F's, so I'll have to bleep them out. Maneezer says, I bought a number of kits. Some places sell the exact same kit but call them something different. Yeah, they've seen that too. Shady retailers, man. Maneezer says, I can shred cheese and lettuce, cannot shred on guitar, sadly. That'd be nice to wake up with just the ability to shred for sure, but not good. Anyways, Glenn says, I got a pick when I bought this cologne, Metal for Men, which is awesome. There you go. Marge says, Night America, someone gave me a few triangles from other brand. They're not my daily driver, but I really do help at times when my hand is having a rough day at the office. Oh, there you go. Matt Van Bosch says to Jess, Gumtree is a good alternative. Gumtree, yeah, I've seen stuff for sale for cheap on Gumtree guitar. The Facebook Marketplace, it tends to be where people go to sell stuff. And don't forget, there's a lot of pandemic guitars sitting in corners, where people are eventually just going to be like, let's just get whatever I can for that, and try to throw it up on Facebook. Because these people they played guitar for like a week and a half or 2 weeks, then they gave up. So they don't know about reverb, and they don't know like where else to go to sell guitars. They don't want to trade it in for something else. So they will sell it, and they'll probably just be happy to get anything for it. So the pandemic has turned out gonna leave a lot of people with cheap guitars that they purchased secondhand. So maybe it was a good thing. I don't know. Also, it didn't have to be around lots of humans for a while. I'm not genuinely spinning that. Nightmerica says to Marcia, they're sure a lifesaver for me. I'm glad others here have liked them too. Yeah, indeed. They're very cool. Very interesting picks. I haven't seen one in a long time, actually, myself. Every third guitar on Geek Lord's channel has a mark from a clip-on tuner. That's the reason I won't use one. I mean, that's not the only marks they leave his workbench with. Glenn says, that's why I take them off when I use one. You still talking about clip-on tuners? What do you take off? And don't answer that. But I think says I don't leave mine on long because I'm a bit OCD with my Epi LP. It has to shine, indeed. I saw Sabbath when Ozzy could not at all sing. Anyone except myself from the crowd could do a better job singing. It was still a great show. Yeah, I mean, it would be a good show, I'm pretty sure. Musically, it would have been really fun. Good thing this is a long weekend between yesterday and today. I spent 13 hours mowing and trimming the property. Also good thing our grass only grows for 3 months. It is a frustrating part of property. Mar says, by the way, a friend got her Ibanez a TOD 1010, aka the Tim Henson nylon guitar a few weeks ago. She brought it to me to try a few days ago while she visits her parents. Let me tell you, huge surprise. I don't really get those, to be honest. But yeah, hey, it's all good. People dig it. We just mowed a few minutes ago, getting ready to blast people with insane fireworks. Sod the climate. Okay. Flawless QC wise, sounds really great, both unplugged and plugged. Nice for a late night unplugged. Still has volume, but not overpowering. Very responsive, whether you want it super clean or distorted. Tones, the neck is super comfy and easy to play, and it's great fun. If anyone wants a nylon, I would highly recommend this guitar. Does anyone want a nylon? I don't know. Just kidding about blasting people with fireworks, so it's serious. The city is notorious for it. Police are patrolling. Don't come to Brampton. I mean, alright. My neither says, with fireworks you blast will have very little effect on the climate. The giant ships coming across the oceans bringing us things we need to have much bigger effects. Well, I'm just saying, all the guitars are coming from China, so not all of them obviously, but a lot of them. Nice, Marsha. I've been wondering about those, says Glenn. So there we go. Maybe we'll see Glenn unboxing one soon. You don't have to be able to play Polyphia. Is it Polyphia? I don't know the names of the band. I don't really know that band all that well. I've tried everything from classical to Metallica. It can handle a variety of genres. Well, there you go. Very interesting indeed. Let me see. I picked up this Denver acoustic in Long and McQuaid music. It looks like it cost $4,000 and it sounds nearly as good for only $439. That's a good deal. Yeah, looks like a $4,000 guitar and it's $430. It's like 90% off. Not bad. Very, very good. My knees hurt says, I want to buy one of those stolen Tool guitars. Guy Gibson's pretty sure that was a marketing stunt. Scott Bogfoot has all of those guitars in his garage. He stole them with Bug Lips, actually. It's the two guys who did it. It's not true, by the way. But yeah, I don't know if it was. But they didn't need to do marketing for those guitars. Those ones were going to sell. The Gibsons were, they were already sold. Well, a lot of them. So yeah, I don't know why they would do it, but at the same time it wouldn't surprise me. Robert is here. Great to see you, Robert's down in Australia. Late arrival today, trouble getting out of the old pit, but good morning, good afternoon, good evening everyone. Hey Robert, glad to see you at any time. Thanks for dropping in. It's really cool of you to see us on your Sunday morning. Hope you're doing well. Marcia says, yeah, but at least admit you're a dunce. You didn't know silver plated wrapped nylons are not steel. What? Why would people try to pretend Bridgegate is going on and trying to blame their stupidity on QC? Or did somebody? I didn't. What? I don't know what's going on there. Anyway, Glenn says that's why I try to stay away from people. Sounds valid. Batfing says, I'm like Izzy. I don't want to be anywhere near my last 3 bands. So there you go. Yeah, why not? And a whole load of stuff dropped in on top. All right, so I know roughly how far I am behind. There we go. Cool. Right, so let's see. I mean, a handful of good dudes I still know. Oh, don't get along with most of my ex-band. No, except for a handful of guys. Insane drugs, theft, violence. You know, musicians, right? Well, you know, everyone's got a story. Marcia says, well, if anyone is interested, keep your eyes peeled. I've seen some listed on Reverb by people who just didn't like them and couldn't return them. Why couldn't they return them? That sounds weird. But yeah, always keep an eye on Reverbs and YouTubes and Facebook Marketplace and stuff like that, and eBay occasionally. There you go. Let me see. Moving on. That moment when Dave discovers how far behind he is in the comments. I'm pretty sure I saw that comment itself 25 minutes ago. So yeah. Yeah, very far behind. Scott says playing a V in a small room is like trying to crash helicopter into a tree softly. No, it's fun. It's fun. It's good. Glenn says, what is the tapping in the background, Dave, or is it just normal noises in my head? It could be the small little desk fan I have going, because it's just not. It's just I need some sort of fan on. It's probably that. Yeah. So apologies if it's frustrating, but I'm trying to keep it away. I was trying to keep it away from the microphone, but I had to move it down a little bit closer because it kept falling over. Mer says tapping like EVH tapping. Yeah. I wish. Glenn says no, like someone is banging on water pipes. Oh, it's definitely not that then. I know, Glenn. It doesn't. I can't hear it, so I don't know. Did Dave leave a metronome on? I don't use a metronome. I'm no. What do you call it? New band says any song about pussy. I mean, if that's your favorite new band, well then good for you, man. That's cool. But that's pretty much all Steel Panther's songs. So Matt says I can't say that on YouTube, Matt, but it's all tears for me. Great Steel Panther harmonies. You know, can't say. I get enough trouble from YouTube. Maybe that's why YouTuber, they're like Steel Panther, is it? Scott says, Rico Dave, thanks for another great show. It's always appreciated. This one went quickly. Well, thanks, Scott. I do appreciate your help, my friend. And yeah, it was a fun one so far. Anyway, let's try not to get in trouble for the rest of it. Mar says, oh my God, we got smoked again in New York City the last couple of days, but not nearly as bad as a few weeks ago. It looked like the apocalypse here. The moon was bright red. Yeah, it looked pretty bad from the stuff I saw anyway. Batfink says, Americans are saying there's plastic smell, but last time I checked, forests don't smell like plastic. I mean, plastic forests. No. Okay, no, probably not. Martin says, thank heavens for the air filters my doc got my insurance to pay for in the winter. They told me the air in my apartment was dangerously toxic with closed windows. Wow, that is interesting. Yeah, dangerously toxic is not something you want to hear. Once I pumped them to the max, the air in my apartment was 40 minutes to being at healthier levels. Not as great as normal, but still rated at excellent levels. Well, there you go. Benny says, Dave, we can get the Saharan sand here in Denmark too. Yeah, it's weird, isn't it? It's not that I don't understand it. I figure, I know it travels on the wind and stuff like that, and it goes all the way up in the air and then it comes down here. But it means I have to clean my car more often, and that pisses me off. So yeah, it's so weird. Ben says I better erase that before someone's at my door to take me to camp. I guess I missed a comment, but yeah, just be careful. Badving says, Ben, I'll see you there, pal. He'll come for me too. Hey, if you're all there together, then it's gonna still be a fun time. So it's I'm glad that's happening, and everyone's gonna have a nice little vacation. Hopefully, stick together. Let's hope not, but it's not looking promising. Hope they will get up to normal, says Benny. Oh, where were we there? I missed a second one there. Oh yeah, there we go. Glenn says they will take me too by association. Take us all. Why not? We saw a little group meetup at the camp. Mar says, yeah, I was a bit sick with some breathing issues early one morning, and I had heard. But it was much better after the filters kick in. Glad to hear it. Glad to hear it. Glenn says, yes, it's those lost Adam Jones are in Bogfoot's attic. We've all heard it before. And that's why he has that video where he shows you his warehouse. And he's up in the attic. You can see them in the background there. He thought we didn't notice, but we noticed. So yeah, check out Scott's channel if you want to figure that one out. It was a couple months ago he did it now. Marsh says, I still have the TOD10N in my possession. Maybe I can grab some video to give you guys a better look. Never would have wanted a nylon, but it plays like an electric. I totally get the appeal now. I don't think I get the appeal. I've seen a few videos of it, but yeah, I don't know. But hey, some people, I'm sure, will find it very appealing. Miranda says New York is cool, but man, it's a busy town. That is true. That is true for sure. Lots of other humans, as we talked about. Mark says, I suspect they would have lost money paying return shipping, Dave. Probably purchased from small shops. That's illegal in Europe, so I wouldn't know why that would be a thing. Return shipping, you can only, like, it is like legally has to be paid by the retailer here, so that's why I was confused. But if that's the case, that's weird, and yeah, that would suck, because guitar shipping is more expensive now than it should be, and it's crazy. So yeah, that would explain it all right for sure. Let me see. Benny says, I thought it was background music. There is background music playing all the way. Something just happened. What? Okay. Software telling me something. Don't know what it means, but all right. Let's just leave that there for now. Yeah, Dave, you missed a chunk of conversation when I was talking to Glenn about QC issues. Oh, okay. Well, glad the QC issues were sorted out, or not an issue with that one, that guitar you're talking about. Robert Gallagher says, greetings from Smoky Stormy Canada. Well, greetings to Smoky Stormy Canada, Robert. Hope you're doing well. Thanks for joining us. Nice to see you. Let me see. They will drop soon. Something will drop soon for sure. Miranda says, Marcia, nice. Thanks for the story. I'm fascinated by people living there. Had a great time visiting New York shortly before the pandemic. Crazy contrast to countryside Switzerland. A different world. It is. The interesting thing about New York is that it is crazy fast and everything's all go and everything's so crowded and everything. But it's actually not that far away from like countryside living also. At least my experience, it wasn't too long before I was out of the city and into more rural-ish areas, which is nice. And I have a work colleague who's from New York State. It's like an hour away from Manhattan, I think she said she's from, and it's a real small, quiet town, which is my kind of town. Anyway, Glenn Bailey says, good show, Dave, thanks. What are you after, Glenn? That seems weird. I don't know. Glenn saying good show. Gonna have to think about that one. Marsh says, I'm sure it's quite different. I would say so. Butterfly Effect said, I have to go. Waiting for a DIY project. Good night, everyone. Take care, Butterfly Effect. Hope you are doing well and have a great week. And yes, best wishes indeed. Batfink says, I won't type anymore as you catch up, Dave. It's okay. I think I'm getting there now, so we can wrap up the show pretty much. Yeah, it hasn't, unless it dumps a load of comments on me now. We're good, for sure. Robert says, I've been rocking a new cornet with the nastiest, good nasty P90 ever. Loving my Epis these days. I love Epis these days. There is a common there's a misconception that I hate Epiphones at the minute, or that I rag on Epiphones, and I don't. I just think their pricing is fucking all over the place. It's completely wrong for what it should be. What I think is the issue is that they're making good guitars, but they want to squeeze every possible penny, but they're going too far with it. Yeah, Epiphones are great, cornets are great, their Epiphone P90s, the basic Epiphone P90s are very good pickups. So I'm very impressed with them and happy that is the case. But it's super cool, Robert, that you are enjoying that Coronet. And yeah, good nasty for a P90 is, I mean, it's a special sound. It's a special thing altogether. Yeah, it doesn't appear that it's going to dump comments on me, Marshall, but thanks for that, indeed. But anyway, listen, this has been successful. We got all the way through. Well, we've got it mostly all the way through the show now without any major software malfunctions. So that was good. That's the first time it's happened in a long time. Because even on my end, there was times when we've done Chord Dave Live and I've been freaking out because stuff wasn't working. And I still have a long way to go to figure out this software completely so that I can, make the best of it. But we'll get there. So far, I figured out the basics. That kind of is enough for right now. Anyway, guys, I think it seems Streamlabs. No, I'm using OBS Studio, which was recommended to me by a number of YouTubers. So yeah, it seems good. I'm also using a different webcam camera setup because my usual camera, my Canon, wouldn't connect to the software. Connects to everything else but won't connect to this, which is why I might not stick around with this one. But it's better than Ecamm, which is causing me all kinds of problems lately. So super glad to be back on one that I can rely on or feel like it. But yeah, I'm liking it so far. It looks, I got all the information I need. I know that you guys are hearing me, for example. I can see, I don't have to worry that I'm on the wrong page and stuff like that. So it's all good. Anyway, guys, yes, we are wrapping up. So it's going to be, it's been a good show. I've enjoyed it. It's been great. Thank you so much for joining me. Don't forget, we're going to do the guitar DIY build. So if you do want to pick up a DIY guitar kit, now's the time to do it. No major time frames or anything, but do it when you can and let us know. Yeah, guitar videos coming this week. I think I might do an opinion piece about Epiphone, actually, to be honest, because somebody needs to say it even more, and I've been saying it a lot anyway. So we'll do that, and I think there is a release this week from Epiphone as well, so we'll keep an eye out on Tuesday. We should know from my good pal Cesar tomorrow. He usually leaks something on a Sunday. So have a great week. Take care of yourselves. Take care of Huey, Mercer, and everybody have a good week. I'll be back with another guitar-related video very soon. But until then, take care.